Now I'm going to use a 7/16 wrench to drain the radiator. It's just a little plug next to the elbow, and it'll drain the water for us. So right, that's what the plug looks like. Just goes into the bottom of the radiator next to the elbow. You see it coming out there. Now once we've let that drain, I'll start taking all the hoses off that attach to the radiator, and I'll pull the 3 bolts out the side. Right, so now all of my hoses are disconnected from the radiator. I'm going to start taking off the 3 1/2-inch bolts on the radiator in. Right, wrong side. There you go. And that's the size of them. I'll do the rest off camera. Right. Now all 3 of the bolts have been removed. It should just pull up. Just be careful of the fan on the front, obviously. I'll just place it down here. There's one radiator removed from the Morris Minor. Gives us a lot more room to take off the fan, you see. And obviously more room in general. Right. Next I'm going to do is remove the dynamotor. Just releases the belt tension, and then I can just take off the pulley, and we should be well on the way until removing the starter nut on the front, which will be quite fun, I think. Yeah. See you in 5. Right. So I've taken off the water pump pulley and the fan with the 4 7/16 bolts, and it's just pulled off the pulley and the fan. They're sitting there. Now I'm just going to take the fan belt off. If you was doing this job, this would be the perfect time to replace the water pump, but as you can probably tell, that was a brand new water pump when I put a head on this, as well as the bypass tube. So now we can get a closer look on what we're actually trying to take off, which is the crank nut, so we can get access to all the bolts around the timing chain cover, which will be fun. Right. So now I've got a flashlight, I can show you more in depth of what I'm talking about. So as you can see there, it's got like a washer which you fold over the nut. There, look. So I've got to knock that back. I'm gonna, I don't know, I think I might put the engine in gear, handbrake on, and get a whack with the Stilsons. See how that goes, and then obviously there's all the bolts around the timing chain cover, which obviously, as you can see, well oil soaked, which is why I'm replacing the gasket and the seal that runs along the crank. Right, let's go on to it. Right, I managed to fold the washer over, as you can see. And what I did is I stuck it in 4th gear, handbrake on, and I just whacked the Stilsons on the actual nut, and just obviously used the starter jumper and jumped the engine over, and it just loosened that up for me. So that's a good little tip. Alright, so I'm going to take that nut off, and we'll see if we can't get that pulley off. Right, so I've got the pulley off the engine. Just get a little love taps with the small hammer, and she come off quite nicely. So obviously it's keywayed, so it only goes on one way obviously. You just want to check that for scoring the outer edge, which this one feels fine. Yeah, so that's off. That's what the nut looks like after it's out. Yep. So now we're just gonna throw a bucket under there or a little pan. Start taking all the bolts off around the timing cover. So yeah, I'll crack on with that. Right. You've got the timing chain cover off. Oh, not too bad. Probably the longest part of the job. As you can see, I put a piece of cardboard just underneath to catch a bit of the drips, because there will be. Yep. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bolts altogether. And I think about half of them are different sizes. So, yes. I'll put them in this second cover I have. But if you don't have a second cover, just put them into like a piece of cardboard. Because then you won't lose, because they are different lengths. So yeah. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up the surfaces as best I can. And just check inside, because what you want to do is you want to check your chain tension as well, which mine isn't too bad considering. To be fair, if I had the parts at hand, I would probably put a timing chain here just while I'm in here, because it is a decent job, let's be honest. I've got a second engine over here which I wanted to show you. This would be the actual cam gear off the engine. Good bit of kit. And obviously on this engine the timing chain was worn out, very sloppy. I'm going to check them tips of them teeth. Right. And obviously if you are going that distance, I probably would try and find a camshaft retainer plate. Right. Very good. I'm going to clean up the surfaces. We'll carry on from there. Right. After a long hiatus, front cover is on. All of the bolts are in. And I've got the crank pulley on. I've snugged the bolt up with the Stilsons. Obviously put it in 4th gear, just cracked on it. It's tight. And folded that washer over. So now begins the assembly of everything back together again. First I'm going to put the fan pulley back on with the belt. And we should be getting quite close to getting it fired up. Obviously radiator back in and fill the water up. Alright, we'll crack on then. Right. Fan pulley is on. Fan is on. Nice and tensioned up the bolters. Just want to check that. Radiator's in with the 3 7/16 bolts. Now I'm just going to start attaching the hoses all along the side of the engine, and then obviously you should do well not to forget the plug at the bottom of the radiator. Really, I should have put the plug on once the radiator was out, but oh well. Right, carry on then. So, after a successful road test, we shall inspect the join and check for any oil leaks, especially along the crankshaft snout. So what I've done is I've put the a piece of plastic, and overnight we'll see if she drips any oil. However, I'm fairly confident. So thank you for watching, and that was how to replace your front main seal.